Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Classic.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Classic.
International.
Classic. Yeah. It's the best daytime live show on all streaming platforms. It's the Classic Codes. You know I gotta come to the ring, man.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you more men.
What up, chat? You can come with me now if you ain't Yo, Jet, what up? Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people try and it ain't in pretty. I only keep the people around that stood on 10 with me. And if they start to stand on 9, that's where it end with me. It can end quickly. In the way I level up, I make them spin differently. I should start a foundation. They be make a wish in me. I got these hoes in the frenzy. They can't seem to get to me, babe. I done master discipline. It take more than booty cheeks. Need a little more conversation, cause I still be trying to see. I be listening with my eyes, yeah, I still be trying to see. I be moving like the prize. You can't find another me. Let's get focused. Let's get focused. Yeah. It's Classic with Classic Cold Sports, and I got a great live show for y'all today. Classic. Yes, Lord. Everybody choose a side, man. Everybody choose a side, man. Come Classic. On. We gonna talk about it, chat. Before we do, make sure you hit the make sure you go to Classic Code Sports. All right, go to Classic Codes Sports and make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications, because we do content that doesn't go across all platforms, and that's strictly on the sports side of things. So make sure you tap in with Classic Code Sports and subscribe if you are already a subscriber of the Classic Codes. If you got here and you just pulled up and you're not already a subscriber, subscribe to all my channels, Classic Code Sports and the Classic Codes. Shout out to Chat 333, the best chat on all streaming platforms. Classic. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. But we got some hot topics today, man. All right. We're gonna be talking about everybody needs to pick a side. We're gonna be talking about Jerron Boots Ennis. We're gonna be talking about Travis Hunter. And we'll be talking about Shedeur Sanders, right? But the theme of the show is everybody pick a side. I need to pick a side. You need to pick a side. These guys need to pick a side, or so they say, right? So we're going to get into it, man. It's the Classic Code Sports. Yeah. All right. So look, starting off with Jerron Boots Ennis. We're gonna step over to the boxing world. All right. So I called this segment Jerron Boots Ennis passive aggression. All right. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. So let me just throw up some little clips from TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Throw up some little clips from TikTok on mute. You know what I mean? Give y'all something to look at for those of you who may not be super familiar with Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? So give y'all a little something to take a stare at, man. Extremely talented fighter. He's actually preparing to fight on the 11th, which will be next Saturday. Today this recording is being made on the 3rd. All right. So he's fighting on the 11th. So next Saturday he'll be fighting against Usma Lima. I think his name Lima. He'll be fighting against. And Jerron is actually 34-0, I believe, with 30 knockouts. All right, no losses, no draws at this point in time in his career. This will be his first fight moving up to 154 pounds, and he'll be fighting against Usma Lima. And Lima has 14 wins and 1 loss, and he has 10 wins by way of knockout. All right, so Boots is a heavy favorite in this fight. He's favored to beat Usman Lima But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Just giving y'all an update before I have to give some appropriate constructive criticism to somebody who I'm actually a fan of. I'm a fan of Boots Ennis. I think he's very talented. Shout out to Soft Rain in the chat. What up, 333? I see the chat filing in. So I'm actually a fan of Jerron Boots Ennis. You know what I mean? I put a lot of people on to him. So's the thought. What up, my dog? Chat 333 filing in heavy. Let's go. So I'm actually a big fan of Boots, man. And I think that that one thing I'm not gonna stray away from, regardless of how much I admire someone's ability to do anything, play basketball, box, podcast, stream, is remove myself from objectivity. Okay. So what I want to talk about in regards to Boots is, you know, with me being a fan of the talent that he possesses, I haven't had the luxury of seeing it up against anybody who had a respectable opportunity of actually beating Boots. I've seen him fight. He's had 34 professional fights. I've seen a large majority of those fights, and none of those fights were against opponents who could beat him on his worst night. Credit to the guys that he's been in the ring with. Maybe on Boots' worst night, you could make it look competitive, but you'd still lose, right? Boots is that talented, but also it speaks to the caliber of the opposition he's had thus far in his career. There's a lot of rumors that swirl around, and so I don't like necessarily talking about rumors as if they're actually true, but there's a lot of things that are said. Instead of worried about the rumors and the things that are said, I want to talk about Boots' actual behavior. You know what I'm saying? And the things he's actually said himself. The young brother needs PR, chat. You know what I'm saying? I got to hold him accountable. As somebody who wants to see his star shine the brightest, you know, the brother needs PR.
Classic.
Here's something. Just to give y'all a backstory in case anybody watching not super familiar with Jerron Boots Ennis. He started his career, he's fought his whole career at 147 pounds, okay? He's been seen as a young, threatening, athletic, you know, switch-hitting fighter that had called out the likes of Errol Spence, called out the likes of Keith Thurman, called out the likes of Terrence Crawford, called out the likes of all the top guys who were once at 147 pounds, right? He called all those guys out, but those guys at that point in time were interested in fighting each other. Joe just said caliber of competition is not there. No, not at all. Not at all. We'll go into his resume here in a moment. Man, it's disappointing, right? So it's like Boots called out all these guys, and I think, you know, he's a human being at the end of the day, regardless of what he say when the cameras is on. He does a lot of work. He's notoriously a gym rat. He's a guy that puts in a lot of work. You put in all that work, you know, that dog gonna want to eat. You know what I'm saying? And he's looking for a big opportunity to show that he's, you know, he's the best in the world, or so he feels he is the absolute best in the world. And he's always been looking for an opportunity to show that he's that caliber of a fighter. Largely for a long time, Boots was looked at as an avoided fighter, okay? He was looked at as a fighter that, you know, couldn't get the big fights because it was people viewing him as high risk, low reward in regards to pay, right? You know, this guy's too dangerous for me to fight him for what he's worth as the A side, right? And so that's why I'm saying that he needs PR. It benefits a fighter to grow their popularity these days for business purposes. If you can show analytically that you do certain numbers, you could demand certain money. If you could demand certain money, getting certain big fighters that you want to test yourself against or prove yourself against becomes a lot easier. Getting those fights become a lot easier when fighting you become worth the appropriate dollar amount. Boxing is still a business. So I say that to say this. We have examples of ways to break through this little stone wall that seems to be there for Boots in regards to getting some top opposition in the ring to show us if he's the real thing or if he just looks flashy against B and C level guys like you see here. Beating up on a flat-footed, come-forward fighter. You're flat-footed, come-forward fighter. You're fighting a man this athletic. He's going to have his way with you, no diddy. All right? That's just the way it's going to go. He's moving. He's stepping to the side. He's changing the angles, hitting dude from all type of he don't see the shots coming, none of that. just peppering this guy with an ass whooping. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where that's what his fights look like. You know, he's had a couple of fights that some people said were competitive. You know, oh, he looked like Boots struggled or this, that, and the third. The guy still won 10, 11 or all the rounds. It just wasn't as pretty as you guys are accustomed to seeing, or he didn't completely destroy the guy, knock him out and stop him inside of 6. And so you said maybe he's not as good as we think. I think the guy is as advertised. I think he's a real threat. I think he's a world level talent, but I think that he, like a lot of fighters these days, he hasn't proven shit. He hasn't proven anything. Let's go into the resume. All right. So I'm pulling up. I'm here on BoxRec. I'm looking at his resume real quick. So he fought Imanis Stanionis. That's the dude I just showed y'all. He was peppering this guy with shots from all angles, you know, stepping over, running shots up off of angles, changing stances, running shots up the middle, coming around with the hook, just beating the hell out the guy, right? Then he fought Karen Kusitizan, right? I can't say his last name, but he fought Karen. He fought this guy in a rematch because the whole world said he didn't look good fighting against Karen Ukazizan the first time, okay? So he fought him in a rematch, and he looked, I mean, the same as the first time, unimpressive, right? So maybe that's just a bad style matchup for him, and it is what it is. Cool, give him grace, right? So that fight didn't end in a knockout. Karen took him to 12 rounds twice. David Avanesian, he beat up on David Avanesian, but again, David Avanesian isn't necessarily nobody, but he's also not world-level competition. You know, David Avanesian, we saw him have a fight against Terrence Boyd Crawford, and he got knocked the hell out. You know, plain and simple. Let's just keep it simple. He fought Roman Villa, flat-footed, come forward, tough guy fighter. And he, again, a flat-footed, come forward, tough guy style fighter. And Roman Villa, shout out to him for being tough as hell and throwing a lot of punches, but that style is food for the athletic American black style fighter. You know, a guy who can step to the side, step over, box you in circles, and then run real power shots up the middle on you. He's gonna beat you up every time. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? And then, you know, so again, I'm a Custio Clayton, Thomas Delorme, right? A washed Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme is 25-5. He was washed when he fought Boots. You know what I mean? Sergey Lipinets, super small guy. If I show y'all the clips of him fighting Lipinets, it'll look like they 2 weight classes apart. You know what I mean? Beat the heck out of him. And again, just a whole bunch of nobody, a bunch of nothing, you know? And so when Boots did get presented the opportunity to fight Devin Haney at 162, you know what I mean? Again, this is me just holding the brother accountable. I'm going to be objective on my channel because I don't care if I make friends with the fighters. I don't care. Like some people on their channel, they be holding people's nuts. I don't do that. This is all alleged for content creation purposes and entertainment, but I don't do that. I don't care about whether or not I could be friends with these guys one day. I'm going to be objective because I really love boxing. And that's just what it is. Boots had an opportunity to fight Devin Haney. It's documented. Devin Haney spoke about it. Boots wasn't able to deny that it was true. Bozy wasn't able to deny that it was true. He had an opportunity to fight Devin Haney. He wanted him to come up to a wild-ass catch weight because, you know why? The truth is because Boots is a big guy. That's one, right? But 2 is because Boots isn't the most disciplined on this diet. I can definitely recollect multiple times in interviews over the span of years, even little vlogs where Boots in the Philly cheesesteak spot showing y'all how to order it up, saying things like, you know, I've seen Boots say stuff like, you know, I eat whatever I want, you know what I mean? Whatever, or, you know, and now I think he has a nutritionist at this point in his career more recently. But what I'm saying is the guy will blow up in between fights and nobody would really talk about it or lean in on it. They would just say, oh, Boots is a big welterweight. But no, the guy will blow up in between fights. His face feels out real fat, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I was the one who was saying that he wasn't staying at 147, even though he was saying he was. And then now he moving up to 154. But you know me, I don't know shit about boxing.
Classic.
You know, when Boots was saying before his last fight that he made weight easy and he had a nutritionist and making weight was easy and this, that, and the third, he was saying all that. And I watched Boots train, you know, on different channels. Shout out to YSM Sports. Shout out to all the different channels that cover Boots in between fights. I watch Boots train and hit the bag and work in between fights and stuff. And the guy gets big in between fights. So that says to me, you know, he does have discipline in being in the gym every day, but nutrition-wise, not so much. You understand? And that matters because if you have a certain level of discipline, you can squeeze down one more time and make 154 to just fight Devin Haney flat out at 154 and collect a big payday. And if you're able to beat Devin, collect a big name for your resume, which you do not have.
Classic.
Right? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Passive aggression, right? And then it's like, okay, you wanted to negotiate with what was it, Norman Jr. And now at the time that became something where the boxing world really wanted to see that bout, you know, and they couldn't get the bread straight for Norman Jr. If I'm you, Boots, you know, I would listen, give him some of my purse, split it 50-50, and let's rumble, right? I need your hat on my resume.
Classic.
With these fighters today, that's why this is called passive aggression, because a lot of fighters today, and Boots is starting to look like one. A lot of fighters today, they move with a diva spirit, a diva mentality. You see what I'm saying? And y'all could call it like good business, this, that, and the third. But you know what I call good business? This is what I call good business. Let's have some real talk, because it's only a few fighters on the real nigga list. If you ask me, on the no duck list, it's only a few fighters in boxing that are prominent fighters that are on that list right now. So let's discuss them in comparison, okay? Devin Haney, for example, making some good money. Some people were saying early in his career that he was overpaid for his fight, but Devin surely is a star. It's people making whole pages and monetizing and paying their bills off just talking crazy about Devin Haney in this world of content creation in the sports space. That's just what it is, right? So Devin Haney took a bad business deal, in my opinion, taking that 3-fight deal with Top Rank to make sure he was able to become the youngest undisputed champion in boxing history, even if he had to go to Australia to do it against George Kambosos.
Classic.
They sent Devin a contract that they absolutely wanted him to refuse, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment. And Devin said, nah, I'll take it. Called they bluff, took short money, went over there, beat him up, took whatever bread he got the next time, beat him up, and then spun the block on Lomachenko and gave Lomachenko an opportunity that Lomachenko would not give him.
Classic.
Oh. And he beat Lomachenko by unanimous decision.
Classic.
See, what it goes back to the topic I discussed on live a few days ago. What are you really willing to sacrifice for greatness? What are you willing to sacrifice for greatness? Devin Haney took a bad deal with Top Rank, a 3-fight deal with Top Rank, in my opinion, a deal that he wouldn't have taken if he had some more leverage, right? But they had something he wanted, and he went to go get it. And then on the back end of that deal, especially after beating Lomachenko, unanimous decision, he make more money than every nigga I done named on the stream so far.
Classic.
So while y'all trying to be divas and halfway duck certain fights or demand certain money for certain fights, and then the fights just don't get made and they don't happen, and then you end up fighting Usa Lima, putting another nobody, a no name on your resume that ain't gonna boost your cachet in the sport, it's like you can't stay frustrated because some of this shit got to do with how you moving. Let's just keep it real, Boots. Because we heard that Virgil Ortiz bump was on some. We heard it was on some paperwork. I don't want to discuss the rumors because Boots say that's not necessarily true. So if Boots say it's not true, all right, we gonna assume it's not true. But we heard that paperwork was in motion. So what happened with that? Niggas saying you need tune-ups and shit like that. And then it's like, nah, it's not true. I never asked for a tune-up. But Usa Lima showed looking like a tune-up though, gang.
Classic.
The shit looking real. It's looking real tune-uppy. Nutrition is 80%. Come on, soft range. Come on now. Loma would never. Come on now. Joe Jet. Haney ex duck for real. Yeah, Haney ain't ducked nothing. It's only a few no ducks. Devin Haney, Caleb Plant, David Benavidez. It might be a couple more out there that's willing not to duck nobody, but they may not be prominent in the sport. Get your star up. But as far as the star fighters in the sport, no documented ducking. Devin Haney, David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. They take on all comers. I ain't heard nothing about no contract coming their way, and they talking about, oh, the numbers ain't right, I ain't do it. Nope. We can get the numbers straight. Let's bump. So, you know, aside from that, we know some fighters that we love. Oh, Terrence Crawford, of course. We ain't heard Terrence Crawford duck nothing. Duck and smoke, we never heard that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we done heard people maneuver around people, outprice themselves, outweight themselves. Oh, no, fight me at this weight. Oh, no, I can't come down and make that no more. Oh, this, that, and the, oh, yeah. We know all the ways you contractually work your way out of having to throw them hands with certain people. We know. But as far as Boots, that's why I'm calling passive aggression. Even in the way, let's talk about this. Canelo and Terrence Crawford training to fight each other. Boots people call Canelo and asked to come help the niggas. From what I was told, Boots people reached out and offered the help to Canelo. Right? All right, you wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. You may not get that fight for no money, but shit, he training for the biggest fight of his career thus far. Why not call Terrence Crawford and tell him, hey, I can come help you get ready for Canelo. So you can go in there and get some work. Because y'all been having words back and forth, and you've been, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not go over there and work with Terrence and them and help Terrence get ready for Canelo? Maybe he would have turned down the work, but at least now you can say I called to try to go in there and get some camp sparring with him. That camp sparring hit different. I called him and went to go try to get some camp sparring. I was ready to do it for free. That's how bad I want that steak on my plate. You feel me? But nah, you called Nelo's side to go help Nelo. That's some passive aggressive hating shit. I gotta stand on that. Boots, that's some passive aggressive hating shit. To call they people to go help them get ready for, why you ain't calling to help them get ready for Berlangas? You called to help them get ready for Bud. So you know, I don't know what that is. But then on top of that, again, we're gonna measure the man by the things that we know. Then on top of that, they ask you, hey man, did you see the fight? You know, what you think about Terrence Crawford? Great victory. Nigga say he fell asleep on the fight. Okay, you fell asleep on the fight. You ain't wake up and cut that fight on first thing in the morning? As a boxing addict, as you are, you ain't wake up and watch that fight first thing in the morning to see how it went down? Come on, Boots.
Today I got time, cuz.
Come on, dog. Like, stop the cap, dog. Stop the cap. And then look, let's say you fell asleep, and let's say you woke up and was like, man, I ain't finna watch that shit. Crawford won. I ain't finna watch that shit. That's still hating.
Classic.
So like, I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why this episode is called Everybody Needs to Pick a Side. Pick a side, bro. You gonna be the villain, or you gonna be the nice, quiet, modest, humble guy that just happened to have crazy hands? Pick a side, bro, and just go all the way to that side. Leaning in is what gets you by. Leaning in is what take you there. Just lean in, bro. Pick a side, bro. Hey, listen, stop asking me about Terrence Crawford. I really don't like dude for real. I wanted my shot. Dude ain't give me my shot. He say I had a shot. He claimed I ducked him. I don't like him for real. That's just what it is. Don't ask me about Terrence Crawford. If that's what it is, then let us know it's that.
Classic.
If that's what it is, then let us know it's that. Oh, why, you know, people were saying you wouldn't help Canelo, and it was kind of to spite Bud and this, that, and the third. It was. I don't like Bud. Bud ain't give me my shot. I hope Canelo whoop his ass. Just lean in.
Classic.
If it's that, let it be. If it's that, let it be. He be brushing it off and like kind of in the middle and put PC with the shit. Like, pick a side, bro. And if you modest and humble and all this, that, and the third, just, you know, I'm not really concerned about what Terrence Crawford have going on. I'm worried about my own fight. I'm not really concerned about what no other fighter got going on. You know, y'all ask me about Terrence a lot. I think y'all want something to be there. You know, unless we get a fight contractually made, there is nothing there. And just be politically correct and go full Obama with the shit. But pick a fucking side, bro.
Classic.
Come on, man. Joe just said, can't forget Bud. He needs a movie about his life. Absolutely. Definitely does. Joe just said, you think Shakur will go up and wait? Yeah, Shakur will go up and wait for the right fight. See, that's the thing, too. We can't put Shakur on the no-duck list. We know Devin Haney sent you a contract, and you didn't send back a counter offer. You just said no. That's a duck. Documented duck.
Classic.
See, yeah. I could be a straight-up fan of you and still hold you accountable. It's called objectivity. Devin Haney sent Shakur Stevenson a contract. Shakur didn't like the terms of the contract, and instead of sending back a counter offer or opening up a discussion about negotiations, my dog just said no. That's a duck.
Classic.
You see what I'm saying? But Shakur talking about, we heard double talking like a motherfucker. He said, I'm staying at 135 for a while. Like, I'm not a real big guy. Like, people be thinking I'm a big guy. I'm not a real big guy. I'm staying 135 for a while. But then the Tiafimo fight come up, and he like, I'll go up to 140 for him. I'll go up to 140 for him.
Classic.
Yeah, a lot of these fighters, you see what I'm saying? So but Shakur gonna get his issue too. We gonna discuss him too. We gonna call these fighters to the carpet. And I don't really, like I said, I'm not a channel or a platform that's trying to be friends with these guys. So if you don't want me to have nothing bad to say about you, don't let it be nothing bad to say about you. Caleb Plant, a fighter with wins and losses, but he stepped and fought everybody. Everybody they put on his plate, he took the issue. Hey, I want the right money to fight Canelo because I got leverage. I got a belt that he want. He trying to be undisputed, and I know that, and I'm going to leverage that in my negotiation to get the number I want. And he did, and he got the number he want. He got the Canelo fight. He represented himself well. He got stopped. He got up, came back, fought Darrell, knocked Darrell out. Should have been knockout of the year if it wasn't. Then came back, had a tough fight against Benavidez, looked good for for half of the fight. Fight got away from him a little bit, made it all 12 rounds with the Mexican Ecuadorian monster, David Benavidez. Got up, you know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant is commendable. Who want what? Still talking about being open to the Charlo fight. Still talking about being open to a Canelo rematch. Caleb Plant is exemplary. David Benavidez, exemplary. Y'all wanted him to fight David Morrell. Called David Morrell out while he's young, spry, powerful, strong, and he beat David Morrell last. These are the fighters that I ain't going to say nothing bad about.
Classic.
But the rest of you, tiptoeing for the bag ass dudes. The rest of you, for that fight, I need $1 trillion because losing is a possibility for the rest. Y'all not real. Y'all pugilists for sure, but warriors, you are not.
I'm only gonna do this once.
And I'm trying to figure out exactly what the hell Jerron Boots Ennis is at this point in time. They moving his career funny as hell. How we approaching 40 fights with no names? You ain't got no hats on your mantle, dog.
Classic.
It's no lids. No lids on your mantle, bro. Not a name to speak of, bro. Not a washed up name. Give me an old name that used to be worth something on this motherfucker. Usmalima. My cousin hit me my cousin hit me today. He hit me from Abu Dhabi because we gotta talk about this Boots shit. Boots finna fight. I said, who he fighting again? Limas. He like, damn, why you sound so unenthused? I'm like, man, they don't be fighting nobody, man. Just fighting punching bags and shit.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Boots like to fight with his hands down. I want to see if that shit work when people punch back with malintent. They got some real thump on their shit and some speed on their shit. And they got footwork too. And they know how to step over too and move their head too and step back and pull and counter too. I want to see you fight another athlete. They keep putting him in the ring with flat-footed, come-forward fighters. He's stepping around, spinning, swirling, dancing, dodging punches in slow motion and shit, doing the Matrix, looking like Roy Jones Jr. against nobody,
Classic.
though. So it's like I wanna fall in love with the man as a fighter. No, obviously, I mean, are we mature or not? I want to fall in love with the man as a fighter, but it's very difficult. We haven't seen nothing. We haven't seen anything respectable. Love what Devin Haney does. Love what he does. Listen, you're not going to catch me on here talking about the fighters' jewelry and their clothes and all. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Fight somebody.
Classic.
You see what I'm saying? They talking about, oh, Devin Haney ain't look right after the Garcia fight. Oh, in his last fight, he ran around the ring. I think he's shy. He doesn't want to engage. I think he still got post-traumatic stress disorder from the Ryan fight. He ain't going to never be right again. Devin Haney's washed. Oh, okay. Well, who's still around here at 147? Because that's where I'm at. Who the hardest puncher at 147? It's probably Brian Norman Jr. Give me him.
Classic.
Y'all said I was scared, right? Give me him. Brian Norman, he the hardest puncher, right? You say athletic, country strong, all that shit, right? The boogeyman, ooh, give me him.
Classic.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It don't even, this the thing. It don't matter how the fight go. It don't matter how the fight go. It don't matter how the fight go. It don't matter if Devin win or lose. It don't matter if he win or lose. He took the fight. You dudes don't take the fight. Y'all don't take the fight.
Classic.
Yeah. So Boots got me confused. He need public relations. He needs somebody, what's shorty name that be getting all the fighters together? Julie. He needs to call somebody like Julie or somebody who trained under Julie, and they got to get him straight. He need PR. He needs to pick a side. He half villain, half, we don't know what it is. I'm conflicted. Sometimes he modest. Then sometimes, like I remember when he was at the press conference and he was sitting next to Speedy, what's my dog name? Speedy Ellis, Rashidi Ellis, and they sit next to each other at the press conference, and they got to talking about how Speedy and him was supposed to fight, but Speedy turned it down, and Speedy he like, man, we could go right now and all that, and Boots sitting there laughing, cocky, got his chains on. He like, you ain't like that. You know you're not like that. Ooh, like, but where's that when it come to picking your next opponent? Where's all that? I want real answers.
I know you see me trying to crack the code.
It is what it is, though. We finna move on, chat. Boots, just listen. I'll be quiet. As soon as you get some real work on the docket, I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet about it. Because I'm really a fan. You know, this is constructive criticism. And maybe the criticism ain't for you. Maybe you're not the handler or the primary handler of your career. But whoever handling that shit, they handling it funny as hell. If it's Eddie Hearn, let it, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? If it's Eddie Hearn, so be it. And listen, Eddie slick with the mouth, witty white boy. Eddie probably hear this. He see this. He probably has some slick comeback. It don't matter. You could have a slick, witty comeback. He still ain't fighting no motherfucking body. So it don't matter. We could play word games back and forth. And who are you sitting in your room and da and blah 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 blah. And he still ain't fighting nobody.
Classic.
You see how that work? And we on to the next. Let me get these comments out the way. Tez Down said Boots volunteered to train someone instead of taking a fight. I'm just saying. Hey, listen. I said what I needed to say. Put some real work on the docket. Put that Virgil Ortiz work on the docket. Put that on the docket. Put that Charlo work on the docket. Charlo just came back and said he want everything. He said he want Spence. He said he want Boots. He said he want Fondora. He said he want everything. Didn't he say he want Terrence Crawford too? Charlo said he ready for whoever and what. So Boots should be blinging his phone. Hey, you said you wanted that work, right? I need that. You was the big dog, right? You was undisputed at the division, and you didn't even lose your belts in the fight. You lost your belts. You lost your belts because you vacated when you moved up to go fight Canelo. So really, you still the man down here at 154, right? Well, I just got here, and you said you wanted that work, right? All right, so I need that. That's what I need. And if that's not the call you making, then I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing else. You a hater. That's my conclusion. That's where I'm at with it. You can speak freely when you don't want to, when you're not a man fan. I'm not a man fan. I'm a fan of boxing. Boots look like Roy Jones. Against who? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, we moving on. We about to talk about Travis Hunter. They told Travis Hunter to pick a side. Everybody pick a side. That's what they told Travis Hunter to do. They said pick a side, man. I'm seeing a lot of different coverage. I saw the guys on Gil's Arena. A couple of them said he need to pick a side, go primary in one direction. Chat, y'all could let me know what y'all think about this. What y'all think about Trav so far this year? Y'all think he need to be primary receiver or primary defense and then work the other side of the ball in? No Puffy. That sound crazy. Work the other side of the ball in sound crazy, right? We talking sports though, y'all. Let's be grown. But look, What y'all think, chat? Do y'all think Travis Hunter needs to like primarily play one side of the football? They saying pick a side. Here's the thing. I just want to throw some work up. This his game against the Steelers, man. Getting work in, right? Getting work in. Came to work. He came to work. Physical. Listen, tough. Listen, I'm not going for it. Okay? Listen, this is Trav working. He working. He working. Should have ran that route a little bit deeper. Get across that first down line. We're gonna be objective. But he working though. Playing close coverage. Screen pass. Let me get upfield. Playmaker action. Give me 8. Trav can play, man. They saying pick a side. He doing well on both sides of the football. Here we go. Coming up, play the run. Okay. Slow him up. Let the linebackers come help. Not a perfect play, but shit, he got to make a business decision too. That's a big boy now. You can't expect Trav to come up and take that one-on-one. That's a big boy now. We still got business decisions to make out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be real. Trav about 180. What they say, 200? I doubt it. That's a thin frame. But yeah, man, boy can ball. Let's see what the chat say before I go in on this. I know Souls got some work for this. I know Tez got some work for this. Souls of Thought said Travis went to the wrong team. It was all about sales. The Tez down said number 3 option. Okay. Souls of Thought said Travis got caught up in the Shedeur scandal and got short end of the stick. Elaborate on that for me. Souls of Thought said he's the Lamar of cornerback and receiver. If he doesn't pick one, his career will be a failure. Damn. Joe Jett said definitely pick a side and get scrub time on the other side when it's a blowout. Yikes. Okay, chat. I see y'all want to talk about this one. That boxing shit y'all wasn't too familiar. It's okay though. But y'all want to talk about this one. Let's do
Classic.
it. We're gonna go ahead and have some discourse on this one. Let me start off by saying I respectfully disagree with y'all. I respectfully disagree with you guys. I think that you guys are making great points. And I think that, sometimes, don't go chasing waterfalls is the right advice. I think sticking to the rivers and the lakes that you used to is the right advice, right? Going in the kitchen and using a working recipe instead of coming up with your own seasoning is the right advice sometimes. I believe that is the right advice sometimes. But I believe innovation comes from those who dare to try something that may have not had worked in a long time or never worked at all. And they figure it out and they get it to work. Here's my thing. Let's talk about it, chat. Let's just talk about it. Souls of Thought said that Cleveland trade wasn't supposed to happen to the Jags. Soul said, but to avoid getting Shedeur and Travis, they traded the pick. They didn't want them to end up on the same team. Interesting. Here's the thing. When a rookie come into the league, what they say, rookies are normally looking better in the second half of the season than they do in the first half of the season, right? That's what they typically say about rookies at every position. They look better in the second half of the season than they do in the first half of the season. They got to get acclimated, adjusted to everything that is encompassed in being a part of the NFL game. Fair. Quarterback is a quarterback. Linebacker's a linebacker. Safety's a safety. Travis Hunter's position happens to be cornerback and wide receiver. Those are his positions. He is a two-way football player for his entire life. That is what he is. He is a two-way football player for his entire life. He has gotten to the NFL as a two-way football player for his entire life. As a two-way football player in the NFL, he will need time to look better, just like all the other rookies who only play one position. His position happens to have a slash in it, but he needs his rookie time to get. Let me ask y'all this. Has Travis looked horrible this season? Let's talk about it. Has Travis looked horrible on offense or defense? Has he looked horrible on offense or defense this season? Because I'm going to tell y'all he hasn't. I just played y'all some tape. He doesn't look horrible on either side of the ball. He actually looks good. Souls of Thought said yes, but the Jags not giving him any real work. His snap count low on both sides. This guy went from 100 plus snaps to like 45. Now that I agree with wholeheartedly. We're going to agree when we agree. We're going to disagree when we disagree. I agree with that. He needs to be playing 60 plus snaps. Y'all divide him how y'all want, but the guy should be getting 60 plus snaps. If a wide receiver stays in and plays 90-something% of the snaps, which some receivers on a weekly basis do, they're upwards of 50, 50, 40, whatever snaps. He should be up around 60-something snaps. You know what I mean? Y'all divide him up how y'all want. The guy knows how to protect himself on the field, and football is 100% injury sport anyway. So, we're not gonna talk about him avoiding the inevitable. It's ridiculous, right? So the thought said, no, he got there by being the star of Colorado. Nah. He was a two-way player in middle school. Got to high school, stayed a two-way player. He was a two-way player in high school, got to college, and stayed a two-way player. Did he make a good decision to go under a coach that would allow him to do so at the highest level? Absolutely. That's unprecedented, but he did make a decision to do so. It also came with sacrifices that he made as well, right? Going to Jackson State, being a number one player in the nation, and then deciding to go to a school like Jackson State, that's a big call that you're making, betting on yourself, but the guy did it. You know what I mean? So I would have to disagree. I don't think he got to the NFL being a two-way player by being a star at Colorado. I think he got there by being that way his entire life and never compromising that that's the type of football player he wants to be. And he is now in the NFL as such. He created a recipe that nobody else had ever cooked with, and the shit looked delicious.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? The shit looked delicious. But we gotta wait for it to cool off before we try some. Right? We're not giving no grace for him to get down how he gonna manage his film study on both sides of the ball to maximize his efficiency on both sides of the ball. And will he shine brighter on one side of the ball than the other? I think it depends on who they playing against from game to game. But I think the guy being a two-way player and being committed to it, right? And them allowing him to do it and get the reps of doing it. And as the coaches get used to it, right? They're coaching a circumstance that is unprecedented as well. I think that we're all moving a little too fast to say what needs to be changed instead of giving it a chance to really work given the circumstances. This is something that is pretty much unprecedented. I think we need more grace here. You know what I'm saying? Nationally. We need more grace for the Travis Hunter situation because when I see him on both sides of the football, he doesn't look bad on either side. And we're so quick to say, "Oh, just pick a side because I just want to see him more altogether." Let them work this out. And listen, we're one injury away, one rolled ankle away from him being 85% snap share on either side. He's not buried on the depth chart, guys. He's not buried. Let me see what the chat's saying. Ted said Jackson State. And then he said same with Colorado. Soul said you can't count two-way, but until Colorado. Now I'm counting it because he did it his entire life. I count everything. I count peewees. I count high school. I count it all. That's why I know Tim Tebow could have been a successful NFL quarterback. I think he was moved around and moved funny for certain reasons. And that'll be a different discussion for a different time. I don't want to venture too far off a topic, but yeah, when you're successful at something your entire life at the highest level, at each level, each tier, you're in the highest percentile at each tier level. And then you get to what we consider to be the top level. And all of a sudden you're not even fit to be there at all. It's crazy. Or that you can't do what you've been doing at least a good level is crazy. You've been doing it literally your entire life. The players have, after a couple seasons, the players is going to be mostly motherfuckers that you came up playing against your whole life. You're going to be recognizing these people. The same ass you've been kicking since high school across the country. 7-on-7 tournaments and all. So we have a difference of opinion on this one for sure. He said middle school, high school, HBCU was all the same page. LOL. Let's be real. But it's reps. It's reps at doing what he do. He don't know. The man literally doesn't know how to be a participant in the sport of football without playing both sides. And he got to the NFL being that way. So he's that. He is that. I think we need to give him rookie grace like we giving everybody else. Nobody talking about how shitty Cam Ward look. All them damn sacks he taking. Check it down. Throw it away. Step up in the pocket. Use your feet. All them damn sacks he taking. We just growing pains. We got to let Cam Ward develop. Tennessee's over. We just giving all the grace in the world. But with Trav, he not even looking bad. And they over there, what, 3-1? Ain't the Jags 3-1? Let me verify, because I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be ignorant. That's what I don't want to be. Hold on. What's Jacksonville record? Jags record. What's their record right now? Yeah, them boys 3-1. He on a winning team. Them boys lined up to go ahead and make it to the playoffs now. And he's staying healthy too. Trav ain't on the injury report now. Shit looking up, if you ask me. That's what I'm saying. I don't know about all this pick a side of the ball. Trav looking like he gonna be able to pull it off, man. I don't know. I think a lot of people measuring this trajectory wrong, chat.
Classic.
I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, we have grace, but you asked us a question. No, for sure. We could disagree. For sure. He said, JUCO. So he said he only played 4 to 5 games both ways at Jackson. Go watch the documentary. He was injured most of Jackson State. What I'm saying is it still doesn't negate the fact that he does play both sides of the ball as a football player at every level he's played at his whole life. How do we do this? When we see something that we haven't seen before, and the first thing we want to do is kill it. It's human nature. It's crazy. Give it a chance. Hey, listen. If he fail, so be it. So be it. He already cashed out. He came into the league having bread. He cool. He gonna make some good financial moves. He got Dion as a second dad. All type of shit. He gonna be straight. If it don't work out, it don't work out. But I want to see it through. Let him do it. Because I think the day does come next season or a season from now where we see a pick six and a 60-yard, post. You know what I mean? Dude catch a 60-yard post route and get a pick six in the same game with a forced fumble and 68 yards receiving. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we see that.
Classic.
I think we see that. He's an impact player, yes, but NFL is totally different, man. It's football. Souza thought we didn't question Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, and Dion. Stars impact instant. Not always. Souza thought said always had Ward behind Shedeur. No, Souls, hey, listen, I don't know how you feel about Shedeur for real. Because your objectivity funny to me when it comes to Shedeur. I just don't even know how you feel about Shedeur for real. But we finna talk about Shedeur next. So I'll save that. But I just don't really know. I'm just not sure. Because it's like 1 second it's like Shedeur not good enough or is he, or it's like I'm not sure. So
I'm only gonna do this once.
But yeah, I'm riding for Travis Hunter. In conclusion, I'm riding with Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter don't need to pick a side. I think Travis Hunter need to keep being the Travis Hunter that he's been for his entire life and sink or swim with that. You already making millions. Be smart with your millions. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead and bet on yourself like you've been betting on yourself, young man. That's the side I'm on. Everybody talking about pick a side. I can be somebody who attests to not being a regular motherfucker, and everybody keep asking you to be a regular motherfucker. Fuck.
Classic.
You ain't regular Trav. Don't aspire to be. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. Go get it. Go get it, Trav. On God. But we moving into the last topic. We're moving into the last topic. We're going to be talking about Shedeur Sanders. Hold on. I thought I already wrote it out. Hold on. I guess not. Oh, yeah. And while I'm pulling this up, chat, I'm still doing my stream later, too. My regular day stream. This is just my sports stream. I hadn't done a stream for my sports channel in a while, and I'm trying to grow it. So doing my best not to neglect it. You know what I mean? But streaming is a lot of work that people don't see. And so I'm definitely putting the work in. Doing what we can when we can. That's all we can. The Tez Down said, no, he needs to stay on both sides. Thank you, Tez. I appreciate somebody being in agreement, dog. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to be talking about Shedeur Sanders, and I call this segment Third String Opinions, okay? So Shedeur Sanders, Third String Opinions. Let me pull up this TikTok video. I got a TikTok for y'all. Hold on. See, they want to act funny again. Don't do it. Don't do it, stream, y'all. So Shedeur, I'm sure a lot of y'all saw this already, but I'm going to bring it back up and give my 2 cents on it, give my take on it. And then we're going to talk about, in general, just some things surrounding Shedeur. Let's have a Shedeur conversation real quick. All right, so I'm calling this Third String Opinions. If y'all saw, Shedeur was interviewed and then gave all of his responses in mouthing without audible voice, right? So here we go.
Vocally, anything to say?
I guess it's not this one more. What do you think? You have to show to the coaches just to have them have that belief in you that you can be ready.
What can you say?
How much has Joe been important to both you and Dylan in terms of your guys' like development to this point?
Y'all might as well. Third quarterback. Vocally, anything to say?
Yeah, so Shedeur, he chose to mouth all of his responses to the media and not actually say anything. And of course, you know, the sports media world took it and made a big deal about it. But here's the thing about it, though, is like, when did we start interviewing third string quarterbacks, right? Shedeur Sanders is the first one, right? We generally don't interview a third string quarterback until somehow, due to injuries or whatever the case may be, they become a second or a first string quarterback. But we generally don't get a stream of interviews going all the way from the preseason all the way into the 5th week of the season, asking a third string quarterback how they feel about anything.
Classic.
Right? So Shedeur is clearly a star, right? The NFL bringing him in, allegedly all for content creation purposes and entertainment. The NFL brought the man in, you know, and still want to eat off of his star, but they treated him like shit on the way in the door in the first place. The guy's not a 5th round pick. You understand me? Anybody who looks at the situation and says, oh, well, you know, the tape just showed that, you know, maybe he isn't what we, you know, hyped him up to be. And, you know, these numbers weren't the best, but yeah, he had this number, but that stat was padded by play calling and this, that, and they say a lot. They say a lot. They say a whole lot of shit. But then you still bring him in and try to eat off of his star. What y'all mean? What you mean eat off of his star, Classic? What do you mean? Every time they interview Shedeur, everybody eat. You hear me? Stephen A. Smith eat. First Take eat. Yeah, First Take eat. Gil's Arena eat. Who else? Skip Bayless got his own shit. He eat. Every time they interview Shedeur, everybody making content eat. Everybody eat. So they still want to eat off the star, right? We still gonna bring him in and get that jersey money. Huh? But we gonna break that buck, aren't we? We ain't gonna put him on the field yet. We gonna, matter of fact, yeah, let's collaborate on some shit. Ain't nobody gonna admit to it. Why would they? We see it though. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Y'all question the shit y'all can see and believe in the shit you can't see at all. You see what's happening? There ain't no fifth round. Okay, so how all the rest of the rookie quarterbacks look right now? How the rest of the rookie quarterbacks look right now? How Cam Ward look right now? Can you put Shedeur in a Tennessee Titan? No disrespect to Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward. But it's gonna take some time, right? But if you put Shedeur in a Tennessee Titans uniform, do he look better than Cam Ward right now? Yes.
Classic.
If you start Shedeur for the Cleveland Browns right now, even with the injuries at receiver, even with the, you know what I'm saying, the setup that they got over there, they're not the most talented team in the NFL. Let's just be clear. Even with that work, even with that situation, is he going to go out there and put you in better position to win than Joe Flacco been doing? Probably so.
Classic.
But when we start asking third string quarterbacks their opinion about anything at all, unless somehow they're being sprung ahead, hey, next week out of nowhere, you'll be starting, coming from being a third string quarterback and in the blink of the eye, becoming the starter. How do you feel? That's not the situation. The second stringer just got moved to first string. The first string just got moved to second string, and he's still sitting in third string. Why do you want to talk to him at all? Because they want to eat off his skull.
Classic.
See, as bad as I want a Shedeur jersey, I don't want to buy it from the NFL, all allegedly for content creation purposes and entertainment. Because I know what you're doing. No, man.
Classic.
The tears down said on Sanders and Winston, but Winston is a different story for sure. Souls of Thought said, these are the moments I judge Shedeur, not his talent. We have to hold everyone accountable. He's never been normal. He will be interviewed until he's out. LOL. That's a fact. The tears down said, highest selling jersey of the year is Sanders. Souls of Thought said, same reason Lamar gets so much grace. Black celebrities is currency. Souls of Thought said, think about it. Gil is the new slave master. Damn. We got to talk about that. Let's bring that to the men's minute tonight. Souls of Thought said he will be in the game second half in London. Shedeur will? Why you say that? The tears down said, buy it from me. Hit my line. For sure. Souls of Thought said, third string ain't traveling to London. So what what you saying, Souls? How you feel like he gonna be in the game in the second half? Because they say Flacco's still the backup, Gabriel the starter. So how does Shedeur get sprung into action in the second half? I mean, I'm with you. You got some foresight I don't know nothing about. I mean, I'm trying to hear. I'm definitely trying to get some understanding. Shit, I need to know how to think. You know what I mean? I need to know how to think. Help me out, dog. You sound like you got some intel for sure. But yeah, man, third string opinions, man. It's crazy, man. They'll still eat off your star. So, you know, y'all understand that, like I always be telling y'all, listen, that them people that lifted their foot off your neck. They have. They've lifted the foot off your neck. Believe that. You know, but you got to understand too, it's certain things that you either are or are not going to tolerate as a man. There's certain things that you are or are not going to subject yourself to as a man. It's certain way. And listen, you can play chess. You can always play chess. It's ways to play chess. We see people play chess. We see people like tolerate the disrespect of organizations. We see people tolerate the disrespect of maybe the league or whatever, or they find out from being on the inside and the inside looking in, you know, find out some wicked things about, you know, the way that the business is run or the way that they view people or whatever the situation may be. And then they turn around and they go bite a big piece off the pie. You know what? Are y'all doing it like this? Watch this. So then now I own the organization. I played the game with you. Now I own the organization. I'm making moves you don't agree with, but you can't necessarily stop me the way you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. It's a lot of people that play chess in business in different ways, not necessarily always just in sports, but in general. There are people who, you know, see what it is, and they may subject themselves to certain shit just to get to where they need to get, and then they go bite back later. You know what I mean? So, Souls of Thought said because they can use it as leverage. Souls of Thought said, who you did Fashion Week in London while in college? Glasses. Souls of Thought said, Louis Vuitton is with the Sanders. Facts. Shedeur probably won't even be with the team outside of practice. Hey, look. The crazy thing is, man, I told you a long time ago, the man just don't belong in Cleveland regardless. No matter what his opportunity is going to look like, no matter nothing. He's just too big of a star to be in Cleveland. No disrespect to Cleveland fans. No disrespect to the Browns organization. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I'm going to just keep it real. Like, you know what I mean? In 2025, like, you know, people that shine that bright just don't belong in Cleveland, gang. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. LeBron divorced his ass from Cleveland twice. Classic. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your star too big, G, you're not gonna be in Cleveland, gang. Joe Jett said, "Future Cowboy quarterback. That's all I want in my life. That's all I need." Shedeur should be sitting behind. He should be sitting behind Dak effective immediately, though. Dak look real good right now if he can stay healthy. He probably just, you know, the way he looking right now and the way he playing, Dak probably just bought himself 4 more years with the Cowboys as a starter. You know what I mean? Counting this season and 3 more, he probably got 4 more years as a Cowboy as a starter, you know, with the way he looking right now. But Shedeur going to go sit behind Dak and maybe getting his opportunities in between Dak's hiccups and injuries, because again, football is 100% injury sport. I don't think Dak will go the rest of his career not missing any games, right? But if he can come be the number 2 in Dallas and get his opportunities, get his moments, and then just really take over the job like a Jordan Love, like a Aaron Rodgers from Brett Favre, et cetera, et cetera. If he could do something like that, I think it would be ideal for his career. I think it would be ideal for his branding. I think it would just be ideal in a lot of different ways. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that anybody needs to rush Shedeur Sanders onto the field. But should you do it and put him in a situation where he could have some level of success, right? Not coming into the game halfway through and shit like that, but being announced as a starter, having a week to prepare, and then going out there and playing with the ones. I think that Shedeur will show that he's an NFL quarterback and he's an NFL starting quarterback, you know. But if he has to sit out a couple seasons and become even better by way of practice reps and studying the game, you know what I mean? I don't think that hurts him either. So I think that Shedeur gonna be all right regardless. I just think that the way that these people continue to try to feed themselves off of like what could be a pretty mentally taxing process that he going through, I think that shit diabolical for real. You know what I'm saying? And I had to come speak on it from this angle, so you know that there's people in the media who kind of see this shit a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of crazy when you think about it. What did the third string quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs have to say about the Chiefs this year? We don't fucking know, do we?
Classic.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's really weird when you think about it. But yeah, man, that's my take on the third string opinions, man. What we got? The tears down said collusion. Yeah. To some degree. But yeah, chat. This my sports segment. You know, like I said, I will be live streaming. I'll be doing my regular show this afternoon as well. But just wanted to come in and give y'all a sports show. We hadn't talked sports in a while. And some shit that I've been feeling and wanted to speak to. So we covered the 3 biggest ones. You know what I mean? Mixed feelings and conflicted about the way Jerron Boots Ennis is being moved in his career or moving himself. I don't know, again, who's the real handler of his affairs and things like that as far as his boxing career and what moves they make him. But, man, it's just like, I'm not liking it. Then we also talked about Travis Hunter and playing on both sides of the ball. I think he needs to stick to being who he's been for his entire life. I think that gives him the best chance for success, not being somebody who he's never been, being who he's been the whole time, right? And then we talked about Shedeur Sanders and third string opinions. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, damn it, I think I'm going to do. Be you, Shedeur. Be you. And when your opportunity comes, do what you do. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be that. But yeah, man, make sure y'all like, subscribe. I appreciate the chat filing in. Make sure y'all exit out of the chat, hit that like button, and come on back into the chat. Say what you need to say. But yeah, man, I hope y'all like, subscribe, whether you agree or disagree. If you catching this on the rewatch, please chime into the chat. Let's have some sports conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's, let me hear your reasons for why you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be, and we'll go from there. But if y'all don't do nothing else, for me, make sure y'all stick to the codes. We got another classic. Yeah.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.